Live streaming is on.
Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I will be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthanger Forum member to find the link to attend the after party. Here at Stunthanger Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and whatever you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a Stunthanger Forum member, you can find the link if you scroll down to a section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthanger.com/S as in sunset, M as in Mary, F as in foxtrot. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunthanger, will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in and just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please make your questions or comments in the chat box, and I'll do my best to make your comments a part of the show. Understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient. I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. Now, if you find Stunthanger Video Hangouts or the many building videos that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and share the videos. That helps the channel grow. Please also consider joining our YouTube channel memberships, which start at $4.99 per month, which is less than 17 cents a day. Your support helps offset the expenses of Stunthanger. With your memberships, you can get special badges that I'll see in the YouTube chat box and unlimited replay of member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. You can also use the super chat, which is located at the bottom of the chat box, to make donations. Thank you for your past, your present, and future support. Please keep the conversations family room friendly, or in other words, don't use words you wouldn't say around your children and grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to post a link at Stunthanger Forum, and I have two monitors here, so you might see me looking back and forth, and that's what I'm doing. So the link is posted now, and let's see what happens here. Let me check the chat box on YouTube. There's no one there yet. Let's see here. But so far, we have 6 viewers and 3 likes. I was talking to a friend earlier today, and he said the one like is Joe Mata. So I don't know who the other 2 are, but hopefully I will know shortly. Let me move these tabs around. So I'll move this here. All right, great. And that way I can keep an eye on the chat box. Well, hopefully we have some new guests come in. Bob Hunt. All right, let me let Bob Hunt in. Hey, Bob.
Hi, Charles. How you doing, guy?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Good. So I know I asked you last Friday what you've been doing, and you said building airplanes, making wings, and I imagine it's the same old, right?
Well, that was a week ago Friday because I wasn't on Friday night.
Oh, okay. Well, I missed you.
I was at a Bible study. So.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. It's always good to be in the Word. It's pregnant of revelation knowledge.
How about it?
Yeah, it's a living document, living book.
How about it?
So, what you been doing?
Well, I got a couple of how-tos tonight when we get some people in here.
Oh, fantastic! Mm-hmm. Well, that's fantastic. That's great.
I'm going to mold a set of leading edges. Wet mold a set of leading edges, and then I'm going to glue another set of leading edges onto a core.
Oh, very, very cool. Well, are
And
you ready for this? Are you ready for this? I ordered an electric plane.
you ordered an electric plane?
Yeah, well, I put in my reorder. Let me see if they have it. It's the SV11, the Brodak SV11 electric.
Okay. Mhm.
So shock the world.
Yeah. Well, you'll love it.
Yeah, I hope so. Hey, Mike, how are you doing?
Hey, how's it going? I'm on an iPad tonight, so I'm trying to figure this out. I hope it
Yeah,
works for me.
me
Well,
too.
that's good. That way you can help everybody else who's struggling with iPads. So that's
Well, the wife and kids left on spring break vacation yesterday, and both the kids took their Chromebooks with them and left me without a mobile device. So I borrowed one from the neighbor, and there might be a learning curve this
So
evening.
the
when we
cat's
got-
away, and you're going crazy on Stunt Hangar.
Yeah, that's it.
Did you get the video?
I did, but I don't want. Yeah, that's a secret because
Okay.
I'm on a mission there to try to.
Okay. Well, I didn't drop the dime.
Okay, good deal. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to move this thing and kill some lights and stuff. But before it gets too busy, Bob, congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you.
And are you still taking orders for wings then?
Oh yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Since this might be the last chance to get one of your fantastic wings, put me down for 2 SV11 wings.
2 SV11 wings. I
Yeah.
didn't mean to make this a commercial thing tonight, but that's okay.
No, I want to get in there. But listen, you can put me at the very end, and I don't care if I don't get them till the end of summer or next fall. You know,
Okay.
because I still got to pay for the things. So it might take me a while to save up my pop bottles to pay for them.
I hear that.
But I want 2 SV11 wings, and just, at the end of the run or whatever, no hurry. Don't need them this summer. Next fall or late fall or Christmas would be just fine.
Okay, no, you're down.
so.
Perfect.
Bob, speaking of ordering wings, what are the options? Like, for example, when Mike ordered these 2 SB11 wings, what do some people want it sheeted, not sheeted? What are the options?
Yeah, you can get a core. You can get, well, pretty much a la carte. You can get any amount of work done or little work done as you want. I pretty much work to order, So if you want just a core with no spars or trailing edges, I can do that. If you want a spar with a core with spars in and trailing edges on, I can do that. If you want one with just the leading, all that and the leading edge cap on, so you can put the rest of the sheeting on, I can do that. I can fully sheet them. I can put in landing gear systems, and on some wings, even flaps, foam flaps.
And Bob, you'll call me when you get ready to build those to talk about what options and stuff, right?
All right.
Or you want to do that now? I want them just like the Infinity wing, fully sheeted, and they'll be for fuselage mounted gear.
Okay, so no gear.
Yeah, no gear, fully sheeted.
Okay.
Just like the Intrepid wing. I think I just said Infinity, but it
Yeah.
was Intrepid wing you sent me.
Right.
Same way. Perfect.
Can do. Can
All
do.
right.
Can do.
All right. I'm gonna
Yeah,
mute
I
my
got
mic while I
lots of
try to
orders-
get this
lots
thing
of orders
sorted
this week.
out. So
Lots of orders came in this week all of a sudden.
I'll
Yeah,
bet.
if you have a heart attack or announce your retirement, you just get so busy, like they're trying to kill you.
Well, yeah, but there's daylight at the end of the tunnel, so
Yeah. Yeah. So Gary, I can't see you. I see your initials, GS.
I see you.
You see me?
Yeah.
How many fingers do I have up?
2.
All
Got a
right.
blue shirt on.
Well, Bob, can you see Gary?
no.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, we can't see you. And I think Mike is saying
Let's
I
see.
can see Gary.
you can see Gary?
I see Gary.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, your signal is kind of low. It's a gray. You got, oh, the connection is lost. That's probably your connection, Gary.
Hmm.
Maybe change your video settings to standard. Can you do that for me?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. How is
Yeah,
my
you can do that.
sound, Charles? Is it okay
Oh,
or is it
yeah,
low
you
like
sound
it
good.
should?
Nice and clear.
Sounds good. Okay. I was worried that it was gonna be real low like Jim Smith when he's on his iPad,
Yes, yes, yeah. And we had
but
another
it's
person
okay.
used to have a low volume. I forgot who that was. They always came in and it was really hard to
Jim
hear them.
Smith. Jim Smith.
But I'm thinking there was someone else who
Okay.
preceded that.
Well,
It
I'm
was-
on an iPad. How's my volume?
You're doing good. You sound
Yeah,
great.
sound good.
Okay.
So I haven't been on Stunt Hangar that much, so I guess I missed an announcement, Bob, about you retiring. What are you retiring from?
Yeah, I'm gonna after 53 years, I'm gonna retire from the business of foam wing cutting and pretty much all the other everything I'm doing, the motor mounts, the videos, everything.
Oh, fantastic! Wow, 53 years. That's great.
Yeah, a long time.
That is awesome. Wow, that's
A
quite
lot,
a career.
lot of loads of foam.
Oh, I bet. And something you enjoy. I mean, that's quite an honor to be able to find something that you enjoy doing.
It's been fun. It's been fun. Time now to do my own airplanes.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Hey, Tom, I don't see you. I see your initials, but I don't see your face. Your connection's good. I don't know why you're not showing up. What have you initially? Did you intend to not be seen tonight, Tom?
No,
There
I
you go.
there he is.
just needed to get everything connected. Sorry.
No worries. I mean, you could be in your pajamas or something. Don't want to be seen,
Oh, that's not it.
Yeah, we've had so many people come in when they're in bed.
Hey Charles,
Yeah,
have you revisited trying to join control line flying again lately?
I haven't. I just sent off. Gary Sinclair had asked me last week to proof the calendar, and I did that today. And a bunch of guys in our somewhat club were putting together a Brodak order, and I just submitted that and other things. So I've just been so busy.
Okay. I was just curious because we are 3 members away from hitting 5,000,
Wow. What,
and
what is this, Mike?
it's the Facebook Control Line Flying group.
Oh, okay.
So it's a Facebook group for control. I mean, there's a lot of cross membership there. There's tons of guys that are on Stunt Hangar are in the group, but we're also international. It's Canada, South America. We got a lot of European guys, a lot of Australian guys, a lot of New Zealand guys. And it's a little different than the forum. It's just people post the stuff they're doing, videos, pictures, builds, questions and answers, but it's not like a drop down where you can go into a specific thing and ask a question of you or Randy or anybody else. It's just
Gotcha.
a loose worldwide group. But we have 4,997 members. We're getting ready to hit 5,000. And the reason I asked Charles is because when we hit the 5,000th member is getting a Bob Hunt wing and a brand new PA motor, man. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I wish it was that easy to get a PA motor.
I must have missed the memo where I was supposed to donate that.
No, you
Yeah.
wouldn't have donated it. We would have bought it. We would have bought it. I
Here
was just
comes
messing
Howard
with
Rush. All right.
Bob, are you on Facebook?
No, I won't give Zuckerberg a nickel.
I understand completely. I get it, man. You love them, you hate them, or you hate them and you still go on the platform. I understand people's feelings on that 100%.
I'm just not even comfortable on an iPad here, but that's okay. You know, I don't even have a cell phone.
Wow.
You survived all this time without it, you know.
That's right. 73 years without a cell phone, and you know, I actually lied. I have a cell phone. It's a flip phone that I only take when I go someplace on a trip. My wife insists that I take it in case I break down, but I don't turn it on to take calls. I just turn it on if I have to make a call to get service or something.
I understand. I totally get that. I totally get it. I have a comment in the chat box from Will Davis. He says, Charles, you will love electric SV11. And he's referring to like I said, I placed a Brodak order, Mike, and so in my order I put in for a SV11 electric,
Awesome.
and I don't have any plans to do that right away, but um, you know it's like Brodak is not replenishing their ARFs or ARCs,
Right.
right? So it's like I I had some money, and it's like let me get that, and that way I have an electric plane because I haven't built an electric plane and don't want to try to do that. So at least I'll just go with this ARF, which will hopefully be set up for electric. I just need to put the innards in it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be ready, hopefully. And I
I
have a bunch
think
of people I can refer to, like you, Bob, and Tryon, and Tom, and everyone on this platform to help me get going. Once I get questions and I'm ready to do it.
My friend Frankie Imbriaco has one of those, the Brodak SV11, and he has electric in it. He loves it.
Yeah, well, I've
I think-
seen the glow ones fly, and I actually just am enamored watching the plane fly. I have a friend; he's on his second one, and he actually told me, if you're listening, you know who you are. He said I could fly your plane next time, which would be this Friday. So maybe I'll fly it this Friday. But his is glow.
Charles, do you remember we had this discussion about Brodak and their supplies about 6 months ago?
Yes.
You know, the SVs, and I remember when I called and I ordered my SV, they had a pretty good supply of the ARFs, but they were running really low on the ARCs. They didn't have many of the ARCs left, and that got me thinking. I bought my SV, and then over the span of like 2 months, I bought 2 more SV11 ARFs
Wow.
just to put them on the shelf.
Yeah.
You know, because I think who knows where it's going to go. You know, when they run out, are they going to order 200 more or not?
You're right.
So just to err on the side of caution, I put a couple up in the kit stash for Sam for later on if we ever need them. You know.
I think that's very prudent. I think that's a good idea. I'm just getting one because I really don't need any more ARFs, or ARCs, because I really need appearance points and all that kind of stuff. But I just thought this would be a good way to get into electric, get a plane that's designed or redesigned for electric.
Right. Well, my way of thinking on it was, if I smash my BOM model or even my other ARF, if I have an accident and wreck it, I got one on the shelf that I can put together in 2 days if I need to make another contest. It was just insurance more than anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's absolutely, because the worst thing is when you lose a plane and you can't fly for a while, or you have to retrim a new or different plane. If it's the same plane, same platform, you can just go back to where you were prior to the crash.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Charles, can I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
This is the weather I woke up to, and we had snow all day today.
Wow. Wow. Now, is the lake frozen over yet, or it's not quite
The lake's
frozen?
still frozen, but all the ice fish houses have to be off as of today.
You live in the Florida Keys, right?
Minnesota.
Tom, 3 weeks ago, that's what Nashville looked like. And my kids were out of school for 6 days, sledding every day. 3 weeks ago. Yesterday, I mowed my yard.
Wow.
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 I had to mow yesterday.
Wow.
But 3 weeks ago, the kids were sledding.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, I did. I drove to the high school today to help the kids with the robotics project, and it was the roads were already plowed, so it was fine.
Howard, are you back here?
What's that?
He's
Howard,
talking to Howard. Actually, I was going to say hi to Howard myself.
he's got his mic turned off.
Hi.
Hey, Howard.
I got some info for you. You were asking for that McMaster car part number on that tubing we use for the H&R bell crank.
Yeah.
I have both. Al forwarded me the part number for what he purchased recently, and I found the stuff that I bought a few years ago. At some point this evening, I'll have to go to my desktop and I'll pull it up, and I'll be able to share those part numbers with you
Or you
of
can,
that tubing for the H&R. But I do have it. I'll share it tonight at some point.
thank you. You can email if you want other people.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, just give me an email address. That'd be even better. I'll have to go to my desktop and I'll pull it up, and I'll be able to share those part numbers with you.
Hey, Al.
HM Rush at Comcast.net.
Hold on, say again, Howard. We got some back chatter there.
HM Rush at Comcast.net.
HM Rush at Comcast. Okay, I'll just email it to you.
Okay, thank you.
So, Al, how you doing, Al?
Good. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing well. And
Good.
we're beginning to fill up. We're going to get some more people, and then Bob's going to he's ready to do a demo,
Oh,
a
cool.
couple of demos for us. So, that's going to be a high shelf kind of stuff or top shelf kind of stuff. I want to catch up on the chat box.
Don't put any pressure on me, Charles.
I'm sure you can handle it. I know you have broad shoulders, man. You were.
Oh,
All right.
Here comes John Miller, and then let me catch up with the chat box here, real quick. Hey, John.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hey.
Hey, Ben.
I'm gonna catch up on the chat box, John, just a second. James Dorian says, "Good man, Bob. I don't either." I think he's referring to the cell phone and Facebook
yeah.
and all that. So he's in the same company, same camp you're in.
I don't like being accessible all the time.
Oh yeah. Oh, I totally understand that, and I think most of us understand that.
I'd just like to say, though, Bob, it's been a pleasure knowing you and doing business with you. You deserve the time that you got for yourself now, and I'm all for you.
It sounds like I'm dying.
No. You're just getting into a new part of your life, finding out what retired world is like.
It's been good knowing all you guys.
All right, Charles, I just went on YouTube on my phone and gave you a like.
Oh, thank you so much. I know that
Yeah.
you know
I
you
did
know
the same.
even though you know, and thank you too, Al. I mean, I appreciate you guys giving me likes, and you guys know me, and you still give me a like anyways.
Yeah, you're lucky that way.
I'm gonna kill my mic because I'm gonna start working and making.
All right.
So I'll just be
Thank you.
listening for a while.
All right.
Hey, Mike, before you go, I flew the Cartier Fast Combat ship with that H&R shut-off on it.
Okay.
And there was a little bit of a breeze, and there's a learning curve with that.
There's a learning curve on the launch. Yes.
Yes.
So if you want to know what it is,
What's that?
well, my technique for that is you can't have the lines tight. I actually kind of lean in a little bit, so there's a little bit of slack in the lines,
Right.
and you just make sure that your pit man goes up and out so that it pulls right away. Because if you're tight on the lines, it'll trip the shut off as soon as your pit man lets go. You
Right.
gotta
Well,
you can even like move your arm out as the airplane goes till you get tension,
Right.
and it'll keep the shutoff open.
Right. Yeah. Because well, I had an issue with the plane. It had a warp in the wing, and the outboard wing was up. And you ever, like when like when you fly like a half-A combat plane. So I had my friend Tom Schaefer launched me. The plane went up and went up and got about 15 feet up in the air and about 20 feet out, and the shutoff tripped.
Yep.
And then the weight of the lines pulled the plane in at me. So I was trying to run back, but I couldn't run back far enough. So it doinked in the ground and broke a prop.
Yep.
So I put another prop back on it, and this time we got it up and away. And then it was going around, and it only ran for about a minute. And it ran out of fuel. And again, as soon as the plane shut off, it glided in at me again. The
Wing high, yeah.
Yeah, wing high, and the weight of the lines, aggravated everything. So, I'm going to make that adjustment and give it another try. But and then I was thinking maybe that the tubing that I got, I'm going to try different tubing because that tubing is pinches off very fast too. The black stuff.
Right.
So if you have your plane perfect, I put a Prather half-A tubing on it, so maybe that'll be a little more resistance to to stop it from shutting off so quick.
So do you think the tubing is bending because it's flying so fast and keeping?
No, it was all because of the plane.
It was because of the plane.
And it shut off. The tubing was fine. It was just that the shut off triggered it. So
yeah,
between
you gotta get the
but I
warp.
was thinking if the tubing wasn't so responsive, it might help with. I was thinking because you said you used a different tubing. If the tubing wasn't so responsive to shutting off, I might have caught it. Like it would go up in the air, burp, and then go or something.
Well, the tubing isn't responsible for the shutoff. It's if you're losing. If you don't
pressure.
have line tension.
Right.
It's gonna trip the shutoff. So if you're turning in, that's bad.
Right.
Right there. You got to get it so that your wings are level and it wants to fly out.
Yeah.
And then the trick on the launch is not to have full tension on the launch because your pitman, even if he just goes bink like that, you're going to kill it. It's going to
right.
It's going to go. So I always make sure like my lines are really slack, like a big slack, and I take up a little bit and then signal for the launch. And then even still move my arm out as the airplane leaves until it's got full tension.
Right.
And then the shutoff won't trip. Yeah, there's definitely a learning curve to them.
Yeah. So and I when I went through the first one, the first one went up. Like I said, it was up in the air and it should have been off to the races, but it just triggered, and then then that cost me a prop. It doinked, bounced off the front.
Yeah.
But anyway, but I was saying, the spring on the other tubing, I don't know, with the thicker tubing might make it less sensitive. Where like I said, I was already up and away in the air, and then it might have, if it wasn't so easy to squeeze, it might have caught it.
It's not thicker. It's the same diameter. It's 1/8 inch. It's just a heavier material.
Yeah, well, the half-A has a thicker wall.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it has a thicker wall.
Talking about.
And then I have that clear stuff that I was telling you about that doesn't even pinch off all the way. That's my last resort.
Yeah.
To try that, but anyway. So I just want to share that with you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Nats flying fast combat. I think that's awesome. That you're going to be at the Nats flying big block, man.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, I'm doing my best to get stuff ironed out to do it, but yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say
guys, I got a question. I came in late, but Bob, what is this? You trying to retire?
These guys have me that I'm dead, so
Not quite.
I hope
Not quite.
not.
Bob,
Yeah.
you got to put
I'm
you
retiring.
got to put a sign up.
53 years is enough.
You ain't gonna retire.
Okay. If you say so.
What are you retiring from?
The wing cutting business.
Oh, you're gonna quit cutting wings?
Yeah. Folding.
Oh, shucks.
It's 53 years, man.
Well, I know, but we still think of you as a 45-year-old. So I mean, you know.
I got
They-
sucked for 45 years old.
No,
I do
it's
too.
45 years young.
Bob, they
Yeah.
say when you're doing what you like to do, you're not really working, you know.
Who says that? I want to write him a letter.
Doesn't your wife say that, Bob? You don't really work?
Oh.
You
Ooh.
enjoy this so much? It's like having fun?
Hey, Bob, why don't you have your kid take over?
He doesn't want to do that. He's busy doing. He's got a full-time job. He works at Carson Helicopters. He's a carbon specialist, and he's got enough to do.
No.
Oh wow.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Well, Bob, we have 11 of us in here, and we have 15 out there in YouTube land. You want to do it now or later? Whenever you want to do it.
Whatever you want. I got a little show and tell first, if you want. Let me just unplug this thing.
Make you bigger.
Here you go. I want to show you my new the progress of my new twin.
Oh, that
Wow.
looks good.
All right, that's pretty. That is really pretty.
Where'd that duck come from? You have loving birds or lovebirds. Where's the quack from?
What do you think?
Looks
All
great.
right.
That's sharp. I like it.
I really like the twin rudders. That is sweet.
It's kind of like a demented warthog.
Demented warthog.
If you know what the warthog
Oh, Lord.
That looks
That's
good.
cool. Bob, when you are
Yeah.
going to draw this one up and sell plans, I hope.
No, probably not.
Oh, shoot.
It's
Wow.
almost like a Baka bomb in the rear.
Wow, that looks nice.
That is nice, Bob.
I can't wait to see it with flaps and elevators.
Huh? What's that?
I'd like to see it with flaps and elevators.
I got to. Yeah, well, yeah, I got them off right now being sealed. I'm gonna make the nacelles this week. I got to put everything in the airplane now that I have all the blocks carved. I'll hollow those in those blocks. I'll hollow those out, and then I'll put all the equipment in the airplane, and then I'll take some dummy nacelles on it, and I'll take the motors to those, and then I'll balance it, and I'll figure out how long the nacelles have to be, and then I'll make nacelles for it.
So is that using math, or you just keep cutting it off until it balances?
Yeah, you just keep cut. Well, actually, until it's just slightly nose heavy, because with all the equipment in, you know, the retracts and the battery and everything on board, you want to just slightly nose heavy when you balance it here, because you're going to be putting a little bit more finish on after the CG, and that'll bring the CG back a little bit. So we just balance them slightly nose heavy, and then when we finish it, every one of them come out right. So we've been pretty happy with them.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right, I'll set up here. I'm gonna do two things tonight. I'm gonna mold a set of leading edges, and then I'm gonna take a set of leading edges that I previously molded, and I'm gonna put them onto a core.
Thank you very much, Bob. I appreciate it.
Let
It
me,
really
let
adds
me get,
value to this
let me get set up.
program. Sure. While you're setting up, let me catch up on the chat box. Greg Nielsen says, "Evening all from South Florida." Good evening, Greg. Thanks for coming in. And Will Davis, thank you for coming in too. I met you at Brodax, and I don't know if we talked at the Nats in 2019 or not, but you did a fantastic job doing directing that. And it was a pleasure meeting you both times, or seeing you both times.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah, I got my popcorn.
All right, this is a Pattern Master wing. Pattern Master.
All right.
Wing. Let me see if I can get this back a little further. That should do it there. All right, this is a Pattern Master for Jose Modesto. So we're gonna put a set of molded leading edges on this. We're gonna mold a set of leading edges. So what I've done is I previously trimmed the wood, just like we did on that last demo I did for the.
Here comes. Hang on, Bob. Hang on. Here comes Joe Gilbert. Just 1 second. Last time he had a little bit of trouble getting in, and want to see if it goes all right.
Joe today.
Fantastic. Let me see if he's in here. Just a second.
Got a coat hanger there.
Yeah. Joe, if you can enable your microphone and your video down at the bottom of the screen, you got that phone symbol there. To the left is the mic, and to the right is the camera. You might need to click on those individually. Oh, you're on an iPad, Mike. Can you help Joe? I know he's on an iPad too.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him on his cell phone right now. I'll turn my mic
Okay.
off.
Thank you. Help's
Okay.
on the way, Joe.
Yeah, I'm on an iPad too, but he might have to download the 8x8 app. Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
That
I didn't have to. I actually borrowed
Did
a
that
neighbor's
work?
Joe?
iPad.
All right,
There he
Joe.
is.
He's in.
I can see Mike.
Yeah, I can see you. Can you see everybody else? There's like 12 of us here now.
Just Mike, but
Yeah, I
that's
see
okay.
Joe.
Just Mike. Hi, Colleen.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we hear you. Can you hear us?
cool. We got most of it then. What's this button do, Colleen, you think?
Joe, it takes a while to fill in. Just give it a second to catch
Okay.
up. You should
I
have
will.
everybody's video here shortly.
Is my camera on?
Yep.
Can't-
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
see you.
Cool.
We see you.
We
All
see
right.
you, and we hear
Okay.
you. And Bob
Am I
Hunt's
ready?
doing a demo. He's going to do a demo on leading edge of this
Molded leading edge.
molded leading edge. So I'm going to make Bob big, Joe.
Yeah,
and
please.
you might disappear to the right side of your screen, but you'll see Bob
I
Hunt.
don't need to see me.
Hey, Joe, long time no talk to. Like about what, 6 hours or something?
What if you push that P button? Oh, there's a.
Okay, let me see if we can
There's
get
me.
a little bit different here.
Oh, I love it.
Come in.
We got an old guy who's
All right,
never
here we
been on a meeting trying to figure it out.
It's okay.
There's you
I
right
see
there.
their mic. It's just taking time maybe to fill in. I don't know.
Okay, we ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Think so.
I trimmed the two pieces of leading edge sheeting I'm going to mold. Just like I did on that last demo I did on the foam wing sheeting. I trimmed them and then I sanded them against that perma-grit bar. So they were trued up.
Right.
And then I measured and put a center line down the inside face of them. And the reason I'm not showing that is because they're in the bath of water here, and I'm going to get them out of the water here in a second. And then I threw them in hot water. I don't put anything in the water, just hot water. And it's A-grain balsa wood. You can't mold C-grain balsa wood. The balsa wood that looks like it has fish scales, that won't mold. It'll break. But A-grain balsa wood and sometimes A-B grain, long straight grain balsa wood will mold. And the way you want to check that is you take a sheet of balsa and you try bending it. And if it will bend easily like this, then you'll know it's going to mold okay. But if it doesn't bend at all, it'll break. So you got to make sure you're using A-grain balsa wood. All right. And we use masking tape here. I don't know if you can see my masking tape dispenser.
Okay. There we go.
There you go.
Now we got it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is get the sheet of balsa wood out of the bath. Okay, so here's the balsa wood all nice and wet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe it off, take some of the water off of it. And if you can see, it has a center line down it.
All right.
And there's a center line on either end of the core too. Here and here. Okay?
Okay.
And you're going to line those center lines up. We're going to take this piece now, and we're going to line it up with the center line. Double check it. And then we're going to take masking tape, and we're going to just put a piece of masking tape like that. Then we're going to turn around and make sure we're on the center line on the other side. Hold it down. Piece of masking tape. Tape it down. Then I double check to make sure I haven't put any bows in the wing. Then I put a piece of tape in the center. Then I split the difference. And I split the difference again. And there you have one molded leading edge.
Wow.
Nice and straight. The back end's not bowed at all. Okay? And you let this dry overnight. Then what you do after you're done molding, I'm gonna have to do another one here because I have it in the water. After it's dry, you take a pencil and you put a line on the foam against the back of this balsa wood. And that gives you a line on which to lay masking tape down. So when you put the glue on the leading edge, you don't get any back on the wing where you don't want it. You only get it on the leading edge.
Right. I follow you.
All right, so now we're going to put this one away. Let me do another one real quick. It's a little boring. You're going to see two of them.
How come you don't do this over a buck with an elastic bandage?
Oh shit! Come on.
What's that?
Why don't you do it
Do
over
what?
a buck with an elastic bandage?
Over a bucket?
Buck.
A buck. Well, you can, and I used to do it that way, but this way, it's on the actual wing it's going to be used on, and it fits perfectly.
Hell.
You know, it's actually easier than making a mold buck.
Okay.
You got the mold buck. It's the wing.
What if you already have one made up?
Yeah, but you know, I have done them that way, Howard. I have mold bucks that I've done them over. When I do the lost foam leading edge shells, I do those over mold bucks. And I find that the masking tape thing works real well because instead of wrapping them down with ace bandages, which puts an imprint in the wood, and it also takes longer to dry. This masking, this stuff dries almost, within about 4 or 5 hours. Where you do it with the ace bandage, sometimes it takes a couple of days to fully dry.
For sure.
So you do this only on foam wings, but on build-up wings, you do a bigger shell.
Yeah, on a built-up wing, I use a mold buck and make them on the mold buck.
Thank you.
And I'll show, just so people know what we're talking about, I'll show them a mold buck here in a minute. But this has worked real well for me over the last 10 years or so.
They really make nice leading edges.
Yeah, I mean, here's the one we're going to put on the wing in a minute here.
Yeah, perfect.
And I just double check it to make sure I didn't put any kind of bow in it. And that's how you mold leading edges.
Very good.
Now, Howard was talking about a leading edge mold bunk. And if you're going to be doing a fully sheeted built-up wing, you can actually mold your. I put a plywood piece on the back of it to keep it nice and straight and stiff, and you can mold over this, and mold all the way around, so you have sheeting to go from the spar all the way around to the other spar in one piece. Okay. We ready for the next step here?
Yeah. Unless anybody have any questions. Anybody have any questions?
I have a question. What do you think of Cambodia's rice problem?
They should quit eating so dang much of it.
All right. Now, here's one I've already done. And you see I've already, as I mentioned before, I put a piece of masking tape along the line I drew on the back of that shell. The shell was molded on here. And while it was taped onto the wing, I drew a line behind it. When I took it off, then I took and put a piece of masking tape along that line. One thing you want to do too is you want to make sure that you vacuum the cores, because the sanding dust from sanding the cores will prevent the glue from sticking properly or the epoxy from curing properly. So you always want to vacuum your cores off really, really well. Keep them very clean. Okay, now let me turn this over here, and you can see that I have the piece on my piece of granite, and because I'm using a 16th inch shell, I have a 16th inch shim that goes in the bottom cradle to keep everything equidistant above the cradle.
Oh,
And
I see.
I'm going to get some tape right here so I don't get any epoxy on my bench. Okay, turn this a little bit. All right, now we're going to mix up some Z-epoxy finishing resin. And I've made marks on the side of my mixing cup so I know where to pour the resin to without having to look up too close here.
And do you always use resin for this operation, Bob?
I'm sorry?
Do you only use the finishing resin, or do you use different epoxies?
I found the finishing resin to be real. You can use Easy Lamb or any kind of a thin finishing resin will work fine. And the other thing I do is I use an acid brush. My wife gets them where she works. She gets me a couple of gross at a time. And with the acid brush, before I use it, I take some thin CA and I put it in the bezel so the brushes don't, the fibers, the hairs don't pull out of the bezel.
Right.
So you see that in there. So you mix up epoxy, and as anybody will tell you, you mix it really, 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 really well.
Right. I was watching John Jordan about a month or two ago on Saturday's show. Mm-hmm. And one thing that John Jordan does, in addition to gluing the acid brush, he cuts it with a pair of dikes. He cuts it maybe half the length off. And then so he cuts the bristles down about half. So it's a stiffer bristle. And for some applications, you want that, and some applications you want full length.
Yeah, I wouldn't want them too stiff going on foam, on 1 pound foam, because you could actually put some lines in the foam, and you wouldn't want to do that. So, all right, so we're mixing this stuff up. I think we're pretty well mixed here. Mix it all over both directions, and okay. Now I'm going to just brush it onto the leading edge of the core. I'm going to brush very, very thin coat of it on here. And you make sure you get all of it covered, but you don't need too much epoxy.
Hey, Gary?
Yeah.
You're rubbing your microphone against your clothing.
Okay.
Thank you, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize that sound. I figured it out a couple of shows ago.
Oh, okay.
Okay, when you get that on, and you take the masking tape off
Oh, wow.
and do the other side. They're showing up okay, Charles?
Yeah, it's showing up great. I'm surprised you wouldn't want the tape there to be a barrier for the excessive epoxy.
A what now?
I'm surprised you removed the masking tape. I thought you'd want that to protect the excess epoxy from squeezing out.
Well, it protects you from going too far back on the wing.
Right.
But because you don't want the epoxy back any further than where the leading edge is going to be attached at this point. Okay, now we take our shell, and you notice on the inside of the shell, I've marked where the end of the core is.
Oh, okay, I see that. Very good.
And then we're going to take this. It's going to be hard for me to do this on screen because I got to line it up. I line it up so the settle line is on the settle line. And I double check both ends. And then I take a piece of masking tape, but this time only on each end, not in the center. I want to float it. And I double check to make sure I'm not putting any kind of bow on the wing. Okay, now we're going to turn this. And again, since we have a 16th inch shell on here now, I put a 16th inch shim in the cradle. Let's put that in. And I put another 16th inch shim on top. And then I take the top cradle piece and put it in place. Line everything up. There you have it.
Huh.
Fantastic.
Walk away.
Yep, I'm going to do the other one because I got enough epoxy mixed here to do two. So, you don't have to, you guys can start talking again because it's the same exact thing over and over. So.
All right. Thank you very much, Bob. That's excellent.
Yeah, thank you.
Just like the videos you have are excellent too. So I'm going to minimize your screen so we can see each other.
Yep.
All righty. Hey, Joe, thanks for coming in. I'm so glad you did that, man.
Good to see Bobby and y'all.
Yes.
I think I heard Howard Rush a while ago, didn't I?
Yeah, he's there. His mic is off, but he's in the shop.
I don't have things just right. I only see one picture. But
Which picture do you see? Who do you see?
there's a bright light right in the center of it, and a row of airplanes stacked in a straight ahead against the wall.
Well, that could almost be all of us. But
Mike, that's Mike.
Tran,
Mike,
I think he sees
bright
Tran or Mike.
is that Mike? You see Joe?
It doesn't matter. Maybe it'll fill in a minute.
Well, if it's Mike, you can kiss him on the cheek again, you know?
I don't want to know. He kissed me. I didn't kiss him back. He snuck up on me. Tricked me. That's Mike.
Yep. Hey, Carl, how you doing? I saw you coming in. You was having a little bit of trouble.
Excuse me?
Was you having some trouble, Carl? I heard you.
Oh no, no, no. I always I look.
How do you make it work?
We're getting some looping.
Someone has a YouTube channel on.
Not anymore.
All right. Thank you, Dennis.
I know. Bobby's frozen.
So, anyways, Carl, I was asking you. I thought you had a little bit of trouble earlier, but I guess you didn't, huh?
Well, no, I don't know why, but sometimes I have a problem with the laptop to get the camera and the mic to activate, and then the camera activates, comes on, then it does funny stuff on my screen, and I have to go in and come out until I can get it cleared out. That's all it was.
Well, good. I'm glad you fixed it. That's an accomplishment in itself.
Well, I don't know if I fix it or I just happen to hit the right button, but it's working now.
So, Denny, I ordered a SV11 electric, so I imagine it has your setup already built in, right? What am I going to receive when I receive the SV11 electric?
I should probably send you my email address. Hey, before we get sidetracked, I did see that note. I've been sort of following here. I've been doing some other stuff. I was watching Bob's demonstration. I didn't want to break in the middle of that, but I was hoping that we could follow up what Bob was doing. I was hoping we could have Mike do another set on tying knots. So.
You're very popular, Mike.
Oh, hi, Mike.
Hi,
You're
Mike.
supposed to do
What?
this, Mike.
Is that how I stuff my Christmas turkey? Is that what that? Oh, I see.
That was the most embarrassing 5 minutes in my life recently, man.
No, hey, there's only a few dozen people saw it, but now that the word's out, I think half of the internet has seen it. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
trending.
y'all have brain farts, man, from time to time.
yeah. Instead of the normal 2 dozen people, we got 5 million people now have watched that episode. So
I was so embarrassed. I
yeah,
had times, man, and the first time I tried to do it live for you guys, I could not, for the life of me, remember how to do it, man.
no, sometimes you get tangled up. It was no big deal. But,
The good thing about having a brain fart, Mike, is at least you got the brain to do it.
That's it.
I went off camera and practiced it, and then I got it right. So,
Hey, I did. The other reason I was late coming on, Mike, is that I remembered that I was supposed to send you a bunch of links to that indoor stuff. Well, I sent you a personal message with the links.
Okay.
So when you get off here, you might take a peek at that.
Excellent.
All right.
I will. So, anything else you want to mock me about tonight? Make me feel more embarrassed about before we continue?
Well, give us a minute to think.
I'm sure I'll give you more ammo for sure.
Not me.
I mean, Mike, we don't know how to do it ourselves, so we really couldn't really mock you. We're hoping to learn from you. So you're struggling. You knew more in struggling than we knew in the first place. So it was all good.
At the same time, it's like doing it in a mirror, you know. That was part of it. And it was Friday night. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's in Stunt Hangar a couple of places, but we got Mike Stinson did a real nice YouTube video on tying a knot too. It shows it all. Did it with the regular size line, so it's much easier to handle. That's where Mike was getting tangled up. The big line it's easy to tie a regular normal single loop, but when you start doubling up the line and stuff, it's like you're moving bridge chains or something like that, trying to get it to tie. So
yeah.
Hey,
Dennis.
Dennis.
But anyhow, I did come ready to follow along if you get some more. So.
Oh wow.
Dennis, why don't you show us how to do it?
String. Gutty string.
That's it.
Hey, Denny.
Yes, sir.
Were you on when I showed off my new twin where it's at?
No.
I want to show it to Denny.
Uh,
Yeah,
Make my
show
screen
it
big
show
again,
it
Charles.
again.
Make
One
my
look
screen-
is not enough.
Huh?
One look at your plane is not enough.
Go, keep
I don't know.
going.
I was just
Show it to
wondering
We'll
who
show it.
the.
We'll show it.
I was
Please
hoping
show
that
it.
I was hoping that Bob would be here because now that he's retired and everything like that, I wasn't sure he's going to have time for us anymore. But
Yeah, please
Can
show
you
us,
make it?
Bob. Yeah, show us. I'll
Make
make
my
you big
screen.
again.
Make
I'll
my
make you
screen
big.
big so I can
Yeah.
see what I'm doing here.
There you go. So anytime you want, Joe, I can make you big too. I have a lot of power, and it's one little index finger. I can make you big.
Joe Gilbert
What's
has
that?
wanted to be big all his life, man.
that's so cool.
What do you think, Dan?
I think I like it a lot.
Hopefully, next week I'll have the nacelles on it. So
Now wait a minute. Okay, you said twin. Somehow, I was thinking that was your new Genesis with the Genesis alphabet. So, or is
yeah,
it?
that's up on the rack up there.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, I like
I've been
that.
busy.
Yeah, I've been working on boring stuff. So I've been finishing off a couple of conversions I started a year ago, and I just got around to finishing them off. I got a Gypsy and a Blue Angel. But,
Hey, I got one more thing to show off or tell you about.
Fantastic.
All right, here's and this is going to have limited appeal, okay? But those of you who have been contemplating retracts in your airplane,
Right.
all right, I'm going, instead of using those electric retracts, which are basically toys, they're for those little foamy things that people buy and fly maybe 10 times. I don't trust those electric retracts for control line stunt regiment or practice, hundreds of flights. So I'm using a mechanical retract. This is the Robart retract.
Oh, wow.
And it'll be actuated by a little micro servo with an endpoint adjustment, so you can get just the amount of throw you want. It's programmable to make that go up and down. Okay, that's no big deal, right? Okay, now, but the problem is with these, if you look at them, they got a pretty wide mounting flange pattern. It's pretty wide this way.
Yeah.
All right. And I want to keep I got to mount it fairly low in the airplane so I can retract the wheel below the battery compartment. I don't want it going up into the battery compartment because I don't want to raise the battery and throw off the vertical center of gravity. So I had to mount the landing gear fairly low in the fuselage. And if this mounting pattern is too wide, the bottom block at that point has to be too wide, and it looks a little, looks a little frumpy if it's too wide. So I wanted it fairly narrow. As you know, Dennis, I'm the king of narrow airplanes.
I've heard the rumor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that rumor too.
So I tried trimming this down a little bit. It was still too wide, and then it dawned on me that you don't need any bolts at all to mount this thing. You just cut the flanges completely off of it.
Right.
And you build a box, and it goes down into the box from the top, and it's held on the sides and on the front and the back and on the bottom, and then you put a top cap on and bolt it into the airplane that way.
Mhm.
And it's in a little box and it can't go anywhere.
I like that.
So now you don't need a mounting flange. And if you want to take it out, you just unbolt the plate on the top and pull it straight up out of the airplane.
Yeah, you got a nice convenient box there, basically, and all you have to do is capture the box. So.
Yeah, it's a captured box.
Yep. Cool.
And you lost some weight too, probably.
Yeah, you knock off a significant amount of weight. And also these things that you can you see I've actually marked where I'm going to actually mill out the top of this case. It's a injection molded case, and you can take some more weight out of that. And Rick Huff is going to make me titanium struts instead of these steel struts. There'll be a third of the weight of this strut, approximately.
Nice.
So, it'll be a light little gear, and the total weight loss over using 3 electric retracts will be about almost 3 ounces. The
Whoa!
total system will weigh about 3 ounces less than the electric retract.
And this is going to have 1 or 3 servos.
This will have 3 servos with their little tiny micro servos, high torque metal gear servos that I'm going to take the cases off of them and make them even lighter. And they're only about like 5/8 of an inch long and about 3/8 of an inch wide and about 5/8 of an inch deep.
Like what's in my hand launch. Good gracious.
They don't weigh much of anything, but they have plenty of torque. Dean Pappas did all the figuring for me. He says I have plenty of torque in that servo to move 1 gear leg. So I'll have 3 complete systems in the airplane.
Do the gears themselves, do they have like a counterweight or spring or something like that to help them along so it takes the load off the servo?
What's that?
No.
Does the mechanical retract, does it have a spring or something like that that helps take some of the load off the servo?
No, these aren't spring airs. These are just regular, just a toggle. It's an over center toggle. It locks when you go up the top. It locks when you pull all the way out. This locks, and when you push it down, it locks.
Okay.
Yeah, so it can't move.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so little force required to move it. You know.
Yeah. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
That's going to be great.
As I said before on here, when I had the second wind with the electric retracts, I got the gnats with it. Everybody came up to me and they said, "Wow, man, I love it when the gear goes up." And I said, "Yeah, well, I love it when the gear goes down." You know?
Yep.
And this is a lot more reliable and something I think it's a lot higher quality. You know, these actual digital servos they're using in pattern airplanes now.
Very cool.
It's pretty cool, Bob.
It's a limited appeal thing, but you know.
When do you think this plane will be finished for Nats this year?
Yeah. My plan is to have it in primer in about 2 weeks.
Gracious. I'll have to go to the Nats this year just to see this airplane.
Why do you think I'm retiring?
I don't know, but I don't know how I'm going to get any.
Oh, yes. Oh, okay. You're retiring to win.
Well, I don't know about winning. Well, that's not even in the equation right now. Just want to get there and get it flying, you know.
I'm just going back to it. I'm just curious now that Charles is going to be flying an electric. I mean, is he going to be flooding the market with all those big engines he's been gathering up, or?
Dennis, I just wanted to capture the SV11 before it goes away. I don't think Brodak, I could be mistaken. I don't know their business, but it just seems like they're not replenishing the ARFs and ARCs. If they are, it's at a real slow rate. So I'm just getting.
Okay, first off, big picture, the Brodak model business has been doing really great since COVID. They're selling a crap ton of everything. They're having a hard time keeping up. So the business, from that standpoint, is doing good. Obviously, without the big man there, calling the shots and stuff like that, they're still kind of meandering along. The trouble with the ARPs is that they were ordering them in 500 units at a time, and it's just too damned expensive, and the shipping and everything like that is expensive. The last time they ordered them, it was something like $250,000 in one shot. And I think they're just a little shy about pulling that trigger again. But yeah, you're absolutely right. There may not be a lot more choices. There may not be a lot more of them out there. I've been trying to nibble along on it. I've been trying to get them to make some smaller orders, see if they could get some more Cardinals or something like that. But nobody's quite ready to pull the trigger on that. But at any rate, yeah, the RFSV is it's a darn good flying airplane. I think you'll like it. Well, you'll like the way it flies. As far as the power systems, it's right up Main Street. There's so many different choices, and they all work. So you'll do great.
Will that have a speed controller in it?
It will have whatever kind you want.
I'm just saying the one he's getting, because I don't have much experience with electric, but all I know is if you're going to fly stunt, especially on windy days with electric, you need a speed controller.
Well, when you have electric, you need a speed controller just to translate the battery power into motor power. But this is
Well, I
what
mean, one of
Charles
those
will be getting.
adaptive.
He's
The
talking
Yeah.
about
adaptive
it.
ones.
Yeah, and then there's
talking
things,
about an actual.
there's any number of different timers and stuff like that. You can get an active timer or a passive timer or anything like that, and be perfectly happy. So
Yeah,
I don't
he's
know.
talking about an active timer but you don't need it for windy days. The human timer works just fine. I like the active timers much better, but you don't have to have one to fly in the wind. I flew in the wind, really heavy winds with the human timer. It worked fine.
Yeah.
Just from my experience, helping my friend with his, and the adaptive timer, really works well.
It does.
Really, it's amazing.
It does.
Yeah, I haven't flown one yet, and I haven't convinced myself that I need it. My good buddy Bob was of the same opinion. He now believes in it and everything like that. But I can't find a single reason I need to improve my power system, and I can't think of anything the active timer could do for me. So
have you
and I'll try it sometime, but right now on a stun heaven, even on a stun heaven day and everything like that, I can start flying. I can hear the motor modulating based on the power needs and stuff like that. And it's like, what do I need? I spent 50 years of my life trying to get a consistent, constant engine run. Now I got one, and you want to make me run it like a glow engine?
Well, Dennis,
no, I'm not there.
Dennis, have you ever flown one?
Nope.
Okay, so you have no frame of reference. I do. I flew and swore by the human timer for years, as you well know. And then I flew an active timer, and I couldn't get one fast enough into my airplane.
Yeah, if I need 100 RPM, I'll set it 100 RPM faster, Bob.
That's
I won't
not
wait
what it
for
does,
it to
though.
kick
That's
in.
not what it does. That's not what
That's
it
exactly
does.
what it does. That's all it does.
It's not what it does, pal. I'm telling you.
Boy.
It's not what it does.
Charles, get one of them. I think it's a Ferretti. Is that the one with the blue light on it?
Fiorati. The Fiorati.
Fiorati. Okay.
Yeah.
That thing, those are the two.
I do anticipate getting a Fiorati. Probably not Igor's, at least not off the bat. I do anticipate getting a Fiorati sometime, just so I can say I had one. But I honestly would be very, very, very surprised that if it sticks around.
I'll bet you a steak dinner. Once you put it in the airplane, you'll never take.
Once he has it set up right. I spent a month playing with that thing, and then once we found it, it was, it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have any experience with Eric Roll's timer?
Yep.
It's an active timer. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, he has. All right, now I got it. Keith Renical makes it.
There you go.
So the
And
KR,
what Keith's purpose is that he was trying to make a timer that would behave like it was governing the engine, the motor, and he wanted to be able to use an inexpensive ESC, a non-governing ESC, and then control the motor governing with the ESC. But he also put a strong overload circuit in it, basically an RPM sensor that will shut the motor down if it senses that you're a prop strike or something like that. Mm-hmm. And his motivator is that at the World Champs the one year, he burned up a couple of expensive ESCs by nosing over in the grass in practice sessions. And he actually was only able to compete because Igor took his backup system and gave it to him. That was before he had the active timer, but he gave him his backup ESC just so Keith could finish the meet. Well, when Keith got home, he set to work on a timer that would serve as a prop strike protector, and also in the process it would perform the role of a governor on an ESC that didn't have a governor. So,
Well, what I'm really trying to figure out, I've got mine set. I have one, and I've got it in my plane. I've got the gain set at 4, which is where it comes set at. Which way do you go, up or down on the gain to get more of an increase on the upline?
I had mine set at 3 because if you set it up too high, you can sit there. It basically sits there and buzzes in level flight every time there's a little jostle in the air or something like that. It speeds up and slows down and everything like that. It actually gets too sensitive. So,
Yeah.
and as far as the gain, it doesn't. All it does is the gain is how it responds to a change in load. How quickly it responds and stuff like that. That's why if you set it up too high, if the airplane just jostling around on a, just say if you're flying in a turbulent flying site or bumpy wind or something like that, you can actually use up your battery with the motor speeding up and slowing down in level flight. All right.
I haven't had any problem with that, but it just, I was thinking it was going to come up a little more on
Yeah.
the upline. And so far I haven't noticed a real change in the upline, but then I haven't noticed a change. So it may be doing its job and just it's doing it smooth enough I don't notice it.
The old saying goes, try it. Try it. Just try it at some different settings and see if you can get some cause effect out of it. You all right?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I've only got 7 flights on this plane so far. I went out yesterday going to try to fly 6 flights, and I got it in my head. I don't need anything. The plane's set up. All I'm gonna take is the handling wires, the batteries, and the airplane. So we went out there. I have never had a wheel fall off before. I did yesterday. First landing, it was a greased landing, and the last 2 feet, the wheel fell off, and the plane just nosed over and touched the front. You can't even, I could cover where it scratched with a ballpoint pen, but at one flight, I didn't have a pair of pliers or anything with me. I said, son of a gun. I usually have a toolbox in the back of my truck.
Yeah.
I didn't take anything with me. Oh, well.
That's it. And the next time, and the next 100 times you go out with your great big toolbox, you're not going to need it. So.
You won't need it. Yeah,
that's
the way it works.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah, Bob.
Make my screen big again for a second, please.
Sure. Here you go.
Okay. There's another twin.
Whoa.
Wow, looks
that's sharp.
great.
That's sharp too. What is this one, Bob?
This one's called the Easy Wind.
The Easy Wind.
After the Grateful Dead song of the same name.
Yeah.
I like that nose, Bob. I really like that. What do you call that underneath the
I like
nose?
that chin scoop.
Well, actually, that's just a silhouette right now. That's going to be simulated. Those are going to be simulated landing gear doors that the gear will go up between, and they'll actually cover the bottom of the wheel, which will stick out the bottom of the block a little bit. So they'll cover the bottom of the wheel.
Oh, okay.
But it's like simulated landing gear doors.
So as Dr. Zeus would say, is this thing number 1 and thing number 2?
Yeah.
That's great.
Twin number 1 or 2. Well, actually, I'm going to hold off on this one until after I get back from the nets. The other one, I really like the other one better. So, but this one's got the reverse composite wing in it, though.
Neat deal.
Hey, Joe, you're back. Yeah. Thanks for coming back, Joe. Appreciate it.
We're going to have to learn how to do that before you completely retire, Bob. The reverse composite.
Well, maybe one night I'll do a demo on that.
Sounds like a plan.
That'll take a little while, though. That's going to be about a half-hour-long demo at least.
Do it before you die there, Bub.
Bubba, we talked combat the other night for over an hour. So I'm not knocking combat. I'm just saying one subject for a while. Don't even joke about it, Bob. As many as we've had in the last year, don't even joke about it.
No, we don't need to play any of those games.
Not funny. Whew. Lord.
Hey, big brother, if it does happen, can I have your twins?
Yeah, you can have it. Actually, Robbie wants one of them. You can have the other one.
Gee, what? He's just your son. I'm your sort of brother. So.
That's true.
Brother from another mother.
I've actually known you a lot longer than I've known my son. So.
That
All
was
right.
pitiful.
Do you remember where I met you the first time?
I'm not even sure, Bob. I know that you said you were at some of the nationals that I was at, but I'm not sure. Hell, I was squat, and so I'm not sure. You know, and I don't remember crepe till like the 70s.
I think
but I knew it was before then.
Alan, or maybe it was Marie, was a toddler. It was at the 1965 Nationals.
Yeah.
I wish I could hear everything.
65, I know you would have met the older kin and everything like that, but I was like 11 years old. So if you met me at all, it was whatever.
I met the whole clan. You were all over there by, I think it was a station wagon you guys had. With
Yeah.
a Woody station wagon?
Yeah, of course. The one in the station wagons that used to come in the packing crates.
Yeah, the Woody wagon. I remember that.
Yeah, that was
was
the 62 Mercury. So
was it green or was it blue?
No, that one was black, actually.
Black? Okay.
And later on, they had a gold one that was kind of a greenish gold or whatever. But whatever.
Yeah, but I remember meeting the whole clan there.
Recognize this guy?
What you got, Tryon?
There you go.
Well, it looks nice.
That's sharp. Looks
nice.
I just put the control push rods. It's no bind whatsoever. They're very nice.
Right.
Smooth.
Right.
I mean, when you do it with hinges, at least you feel something over there. This is smooth as silk.
Nice.
So,
most excellent.
So this is what I've done on the nose, basically. I made a piece of plywood, and I put some carbon fiber on the faces, the unidirectional that goes up and down, right? And the motor just bolts directly to it, and I have the holes for that, right, for the air to go through it. Has like 3 degrees offset in it right now. And well, this is pretty much it.
Looks nice.
I just have to finish. I have to finish this and put some weight on the wingtip, and install my battery, ESC, and stuff like that.
You know, it's apropos this electric, because all prowlers should be very quiet.
That's true.
What?
All prowlers should be very quiet.
Animals that prowl in the night are very quiet.
Is that a prowler or an RD1?
It's a prowler.
It's a prowler. Prowler should be quiet.
It's a bunny rabbit killer.
I like that landing gear, Tryon.
It's just the stock landing gear.
Yeah, but I've never seen that before. I've never seen wires bent like that.
No, it's the first time I see it myself too. So it has you have like a torsion bar here.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Small torsion, so it's pretty soft. I mean,
whoever designed that must be a real genius.
I mean, I have no clue why the landing gear goes on the outside and back in.
Because I was putting wheel pants, little simulated wheel pants outside the wheels. They were like little chin stock wheel pants.
Okay.
That's a neat design. It's a very neat design, Bob. Now, are you using Kevlar lead outs, Tryon? Is that Kevlar lead outs, or what kind of lead outs are those?
Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah, these are the Kevlars.
Oh, that's interesting.
Is that the Prowler? Is that the Prowler or the RD1?
The Prowler.
That's the Prowler. Okay.
Okay. Hey, not to beat a dead horse, but Mike can help you tie the ends on those.
Oh, love it.
No, seriously, do you tie the Kevlar, or do you try to wrap it, like an AMA wrap or something like that, or how do you finish those off?
You can do it any way you want to. You can tie it up, make a knot because they are thin enough to make a knot. You can also wrap them up. And you can wrap them up with anything, like maybe another string of Kevlar or whatever.
Okay,
And
but
if you
how
put-
are you going to do it?
I don't like the nut because it's kind of bulky and just kind of
Mhm.
like that. I can do a simple nut, but I think I'm just going to wrap them nicely in one direction, just like you wrap out your lead outs with a, and then put a sleeve of shrink wrapping, shrink tubing on top of it. So it's going to look nice and neat and stuff like that. And after I
do
wrap
like-
it, I'm going to drop of right in the middle of the wrap and stuff like that. I'm going to drop put a drop of thin CA, so there's no way it's going to come loose ever.
I like that those lead outs absolutely could not be damaged. You know, like
No way.
You know, solid
No.
lead outs or even flexible steel lead outs, you can get a bend and they get bound up and everything like that. But that
Exactly.
that's absolutely soft. I love it. So
Yeah, and just like and it can do anything. You can tie them up with each other. You really cannot damage them at all.
on the bell crank end, did you have to do anything to insulate the lead out from the bell crank? Did you run it through a tube or anything like that at the bell crank?
Nothing.
Kevlar
Nothing.
directly to the against? Is it a nylon bell crank?
Yeah, it is the bell crank that came with the product. The only thing I've done with the bell crank is I took the hole and I put a bevel in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
That makes a ton of sense no matter what. So
that's all. And then I made that just a simple nut. That's all there's to it. Simple
That's
nut. But it's just so simple. I mean, just stupid easy to do. So what I've done on the bell crank, I can even show you. Hang on.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah.
Charles, make that big for just a second. Make that big for just a second.
All right, hang on. Here you go, Bob. You are
There we
big for just a second. Or if you go beyond 3 hours, we got to call a doctor.
Sometimes going, it's all by itself.
Nice, Bob. Yeah, that's why I'm showing it to you. So this is what I've done on it.
Hang on, Tryon.
Are you gonna make me famous?
Yeah, just a second. Are you done, Bob? Yeah. All right, let me go back to you, Tryon. Hang on a second. Let's see here, Tryon. There you go. You are big, and the same goes to you. If you stay big for more than 3 hours, you gotta call a doctor.
Oh, you punk. All right, so what I've done here, I just before I did it, I put it in there. I put a drop of CA on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just to hold the strands together, and so we stop it from fraying, and you just cut it. So instead of having this kind of end, you're gonna have this kind of end, right?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So you take your bell crank and put a 45 on both sides, here and there, right?
Right.
And you take your Kevlar, thread it right through it.
Are you getting this? Are you getting this, Mike?
I think Mike's muted.
And unfortunately, this guy has a small hole fixed.
I'm getting it, Bob.
So I'm going to do it like this.
You need to do it again.
So now if you think about it, it's just a simple nut. You just go like this. And thread it through. Just like you would make a normal nut. But, or you can just tie it normally. Just make several nuts. It really doesn't matter. Because as long as you have like a little bit of bevel over here, the Kevlar can go back and forth. And you can also make a hard nut too. So you can just tie it real hard, maybe even make a notch over here. So you don't allow it to do this, right? Okay. So if you make put a little bit of notch on this side and make a real tight knot, then the only thing is gonna bend from here, right? When the bell crank moves. And I think that's the best way to go with it. Any other way is gonna work as long as you give it a good knot. So another knot could be like this. Just simple knot. I'm going through this. Wing aside. There you go. And this is just a normal knot. See this? Normal knot. That's it.
That's it.
Simple.
Yeah, it is simple.
Well, basically, all you're doing is making a slip knot.
Yeah.
It's an overhand knot, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You can make a bigger hole and you can put it through the hole and just go through. I mean, any knot is going to work as long as it's not going to slip or just move in time.
Now, the reason why you put the edges on a 45 degree is that so it doesn't cut the Kevlar or whatever it is that you're using?
Just take care so it doesn't do it. But actually what is going to happen in reality, I think the Kevlar is going to start to wear out the edge a little bit, and then it's going to get so smooth over there, it's not going to be an issue at all. Because the Kevlar doesn't break. It really doesn't like to break at all.
So then what's the purpose of 45ing the edge on your hole?
That's so have a smaller transition for the Kevlar, so it doesn't have a sharp edge.
Got it. Okay, got
Okay.
it.
So you're just you're breaking this sharp edge here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all there's to it, man.
That's neat.
And this is like about, I think it's about 30,000 steak, and it's rated for 150 pounds or more.
Mm.
And it's light too.
Yeah.
So think about, they have all kinds of advantages. So it's lightweight, it's easy to use, lasts forever. You don't worry about it breaking or anything like that. So I think it's an improvement. And this plane also has the Kevlar hinges too.
Yeah.
And you've seen, you saw me doing them before. And
that's for your electric plane, right?
Doesn't matter what plane you're making. You can put
so those layouts are fuel proof.
Yeah.
The lead-outs are fuel proof.
Kevlar is not going to hurt it.
Okay.
Yeah, but how many times do you ever have to wipe fuel off your lead out or your inboard tip anyway?
Well,
I mean, it's not going to hurt it. It won't hurt them a bit.
All right, cool.
It won't hurt them a bit. I didn't mean that to sound as smart as that sounded. I'm sorry.
No, but accidents happen out in the field where you might spill fuel, or you got a leaky gas tank, or your bladder explodes on you.
It's not going to hurt it at all.
No.
Yeah.
Believe me, I know about weird things happening. I just had a wheel fall off.
And I've got this from Amazon.
You ever had a wing fall? You ever had a wing fall off?
No, I've never had a wing fall off, but I had a landing. Where the wheel fell off a foot from where the plane would have stopped anyway. It just kind of plopped, and then the plane just kind of nosed over and just touched. It touched so easy, it was ridiculous. The whole thing was ridiculous. It's been a beautiful landing.
Phil, the best flight I ever put on that twin flight streak. I mean, the absolute best. I mean, I knew flying it. I knew this is the one I've been waiting for. And I got through the pattern, went to land, and I heard this funny scraping sound when I landed. Tim Meeks comes walking out the circle. He's got my outboard wheel.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Zero.
There went that great flight. It was gone.
Oh, well.
Zero.
That's the way it works sometimes. We were talking a few weeks ago about the stuff to put monocoat down. And I went today to get some. And this is all I could find at the local shop. It's called No Heat. I don't know anything about this other than it says bonds monocoat over monocoat without heat. Eliminates ugly bulges, bubbles, sags, and wrinkles. Fuel proof and easy to use. I'll let you know Friday or next Monday.
What's the main ingredient in there?
I've read this thing twice and I don't know. I can't find what the main ingredient is. It's just it doesn't say. There's nothing on here that tells me. Go what it is. Now I was supposed to pick up a thing with this, what it is and how it works sheet, and I didn't get it. I got there right as the hobby shop was closing, and I was just glad they let me in to get it. So I like to say I'll probably run back over in the morning and go back for a piece of paper. $3 worth of gas for a piece of paper. But anyway, I'll find out and know something next week.
Okay.
Next time I talk. I don't know if I get to tell you Friday night or not, because we'll be at my daughter's house in Columbia to go to the fly-in next Saturday, and her Wi-Fi is sketchy at best. So we'll see. I'm gonna hope to, but I don't know if it'll work or not.
Phil, we're going to be there Friday morning early.
Friday morning. Well, I might stop by on the way down, and I'm gonna drop my wife off at my daughter's house, and
Did
she
you
and my
say-
daughter.
I'm
Do
sorry.
what?
Did you say that the label on that says removes bubbles, sags, and wrinkles?
Yes.
Here we
Eliminates, not removes.
I know
Eliminates.
some women that might want to buy a few of those bottles.
Maybe one or two guys,
Oh, Bob. You're
Hey, well,
Steve. You spent, Bob, I know what the problem is, brother. You spent too much time with Steve.
No, that's not a,
That's true.
it's like the older we get, the more honest we get.
well,
And he happens to be funny at the same time.
That's it.
Well, speaking of monocoat, what's the best way to remove old monocoat off your wing and fuselage?
A good hard
A little bit of
crash.
heat.
Do what?
A good hard crash.
That'll do it.
A little bit. Get your heat gun, and if you can warm it up just a little bit as you're going, it'll help release it.
Okay.
Sure does. That's the best way.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't want to get it real hot. You'll develop a feel for it as you're going.
Okay.
So, can I holler at Phil for a second?
Go ahead.
For it.
Yeah, Phil, the wife and kids are already in Greensboro. They went yesterday.
Good grief.
They're visiting Grandma, my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I typically get this week off to stay home and do stuff. It's my break from the kids and the wife and everybody.
And household chores.
Doing lots of fun stuff. But I'm driving Thursday to pick Sam up in Greensboro. And early Friday morning, we're going to just make the 2-hour drive down to Watts. So we'll be there early Friday. We're staying in the hotel off 77 there Friday and Saturday night. So we'll be there all day Friday and all day Saturday.
I doubt I get there Friday, but I will be there Saturday morning early.
Okay.
I think a bunch of the guys are going down.
Yeah. We'll be there. Looking forward to it. Kind of like the opener for the year, the kickoff,
Yeah. It's always fun at Watts. We'll have a cookout Saturday afternoon, and the flying starts at 8. It's what I've been told. The meeting is at 2. That'll last about 45 minutes, and then we get back to some serious flying, and then we'll have a cookout, and it's always fun. All you need to know, Will Davis is cooking. That's all you need to know.
Oh, wow. That's great.
It's our first time at Watts, and of course we love Watt. We've got to know him really well at Huntersville. So Sam's getting excited and looking forward to seeing Watt, because he hadn't been to Huntersville in a couple of years, and he hadn't made the last 2 Brodacks that were held.
Well, I tell you what, Watt loves kids, and all the kids love Watt. So, what can I tell you?
He's been very generous.
He's a very generous fellow, and he's a very genuine fellow.
Yes, he is.
What you see is what you get. That's the real Watt. He don't put on any airs for anybody.
Did you ever drive in that old pickup truck with him now?
I have ridden with him in the pickup truck.
What'd you think of how the front end was aligned? How many years ago did you do it?
I ain't going there, Bob.
We stayed with him a few years ago. We went down to Joe Knoll, and I went over with Juan every morning. I went driving with him, and boy, I'll tell you, that thing had the worst front end in it, and he was driving like 70 miles an hour down the back road, and I thought I was going to die.
You ridden with what, my son?
those are the best rides ever. Those are the funnest ones, man.
Yeah, and then I had to drive it home one day, and I really thought I was going to die.
I
Is
tell
it
you
the
what,
kind of friend that you just set up the turn in advance?
Yeah, the thing is, you steer it, it doesn't go anywhere, and all of a sudden then it goes way farther one way, and then you steer a little bit the other way, and it doesn't go, and you turn it, and it goes way far the other way.
Yeah.
You're going down the road like this, crazy.
Yeah, I've driven a car like that before.
Kind of like that, Bob, right? Boom,
What's that?
boom, boom. You do this to keep in the straight line, kind of slapping it a little bit like that.
It was the most exciting ride of my life.
it's a religion car. If you don't have it, it'll give it to you.
And we had to make that ride from Watt's house to Joe Knoll every day for a week, and that's not a short ride.
No,
that's
like
a
little over an hour,
half or something, So.
Yeah,
right at an hour.
I'm actually getting this ready for to take to Watts. This is for Liam Barry. So
nice.
This is an old Dawson design combat plane that I got from Marshall Busby's estate, and this was for Fox 35 Combat. It's a combat plane that runs on a suction tank, and they actually had an event where they flew Fox 35 Combat, and Dawson built a whole bunch of these. I had one previously that belonged to Mac Henry, and I put a LA-25 on it, and then a heavy hub. I had to put a little bit of weight in the nose to get it to balance right. But this is what Sam actually started learning the pattern with before we used stunt plane. So I got this one from Marshall's estate. I'm going to put a 25 on it and take it down to Watts this weekend and let Liam Barry, let Derek's son, have at it, man. I'm hoping I can get him doing like figure eights or something with it this weekend. That's the plan.
He's about a year behind your son. Well, he's more than a year behind, but from what I hear, from what I have heard, he is making leaps and bounds. Now, I haven't seen it. I have heard that he's getting very good, but I said, well, if he's getting anywhere near Mike's son, the older guys are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, we are.
I think there's a 4-year age difference, 4 or 5 between Liam and Sam.
At least 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And about a foot in height.
Yeah, but Liam he's fearless. He's not scared to do stuff.
Look who his dad is.
Liam just gets out there and does stuff, and it's like, okay, and he pulls it off. He does good. So, and Liam and Sam they're fast friends. They love hanging out at contests and stuff. So we're very excited to be able to hang out with the Berries. Derek's coming up on Saturday. He's bringing Liam up on Saturday, and they're going to spend the day with us. So
yeah, that'll be a fun day.
I got a couple of really beat up speed limit combat planes, and I'm hoping that we can just turn Liam and Sam loose with those and just see what happens.
Oh, me. This could be fun. Oh.
What's the name of that plane, Mike? Is that a gotcha streak?
No, it's not a gotcha. I don't know what the name is, Charles, to be honest. All I know is it's a Jeff Dawson design. And Marshall had one, and Mac Henry had one. And I talked to Jeff Dawson. He made these. These came out of Texas. And like I said, it was for a Fox 35 combat event. They flew God knows what. But it was.
Look at the bell crank.
Not on a bladder. It was Fox 35s on a suction tank. That's what these planes were designed for. Yeah, I think it was just a fun event. It was like a loose fun event. This wasn't an AMA event or anything like that. These were just guys that said, hey, we're all going to build combat planes with bone stock, Fox 35s on a suction tank. And that's what this design was for. And we had one previous to this that Mac owned, and I put an LA-25 on it and a little bit of nose weight in it, and it made a great stunt trainer for Sam.
Yeah.
So we're going to put this one together for Liam.
Were you around when Clayton Smith was flying combat?
I was not. I never met Clayton. I didn't know Clayton.
Man,
I started coming
he used to.
Nashville after he passed away.
Yeah, he used to fly with a. He used to. Well, let me just say,
Hey, turn the mic, dude.
I lowered him already.
Clayton
I got
was
it.
Clayton was a guy that liked to save a penny. I'm not kidding. When we were building the stunt wagon 60s, we were at a sale, RC sale, and Clayton is over in the corner. He's found a 2.5 inch, 3.5 inch Froome spinner to go on a thing, perfect, brand new in the box. The guy wants 25 cents. Clayton is trying to talk him down to a dime.
Oh gosh.
I handed Clayton a quarter and kept walking.
Good move. Good move.
That's what a swap meet is all about, man. You never
That's
pay
true.
full price at a swap meet.
But a quarter, I'd give $10 for it and not thought twice about it.
Well,
He for a fuel tank, he used a beanie weenie can with one of those little bitty tanks stuck on the side of it. And we always had to make sure at the combat matches at Hobby Park that we had the circle behind the active circle free, because Clayton was known for his overruns. At Hobby Park to this day, Saturday, one of the guys had an overrun, lasted about 2 minutes. And of course, we got no place to go right now, the way they got the place tore up. But everybody's hollering, "All right, Clayton," to this day.
There's a Clayton Smith tank right there, man.
That's it. That's it. It sure is. It sure is. That thing, it's the weirdest. That's the weirdest looking tank I've ever seen. But they work so well.
Larry told me it was a condensed milk can, is what I was told.
Well, that's probably what that is. That one probably is a condensed milk can.
But
I've seen him use beanie weenie cans too.
With a perfect, like 1 ounce perfect tank.
Yep, that's
Wow.
it.
I think that's
And
very.
it works. Lord, he would get some overruns. Good gracious.
It's a poor man's chicken hopper, and it's also Uniflow. It's a poor man's Uniflow chicken hopper made out of a soup can or beanie weenie can, condensed milk can with a perfect tank.
I think it is a condensed milk can. That's what that one looks like.
Yeah. But look at it.
Carl.
Yo.
I got 2 of these tanks, and I'll tell you what.
Hang on.
This is actually
They
one
work.
of Clayton's old airplanes here.
Yeah.
And I got a Thunder Tiger 36 on this thing, just running on suction, and it's pretty stout, man.
Yeah.
Pretty good little.
Yeah, Clayton was a master of doing that stuff.
I'll tell you what.
I think that's great.
I wouldn't want to spend all that time building tanks like that, have them crashed in a combat match. I mean, that took some time to fabricate.
That was Clayton. That was Clayton. It was cheap.
Chicken hopper, is it kind of canted a little bit? It looks like it's canted just a little bit too.
It might be.
Yeah. Looks like it.
Yeah, I believe it is.
No, canted out, like the tail, the back of it.
The back end's further out than the front. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I believe it is.
There you go. You're right.
That is very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Carl, when I finish with your tank, it's gonna look like that.
Oh, okay. Hey, as long as it works.
That's some great soldering and just putting that all together like that, and just the time that goes in that. And in a combat match, it could be gone in 30 seconds because when you crash the airplane, the engine goes into the tank and it's just a big dented pile of metal.
Clayton was a master at doing stuff that nobody else would think of.
Yeah, that is very neat. I really like that. Thanks for showing me that. That is awesome.
He could do some stuff to save $1. I'm telling you.
No kidding. I mean, normally that condensed milk goes in the trash can.
I just noticed something. If you can see the back of the tank, it's actually the lid from the can.
He's not wasting the penny. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
From the can, you see.
I see it. I see it. I see the grooves.
Yeah.
There's a little known fact. It's a little known fact that the Factas actually ran better on the condensed milk.
Totally believable.
That's pretty good. Wow, that is awesome.
Look at it this way, Bob. The exhaust was a whole lot easier to clean up.
Well,
It's-
Wasn't so greasy.
let me ask somebody who knows, because what were these cans made of in the 60s and 70s? Because you can't do that with a can today because they've got like a plastic liner on the inside of the can now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Well,
it was just tin.
It's just 10.
just
It's
straight
tin.
tin.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That was why they're called tin cans.
oh,
Yeah. Now everything's aluminum, and you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, even then, I mean, you've been using galvanized steel in cans forever, right? Would you have to like clean the galvanizing off when you soldered it?
Yep.
Is that all it would
Yeah,
take?
but
That,
not
that
for
could hurt you.
not for food items though. I don't think they did.
Well,
Mm-mm.
I just know today, like if you look on the inside of a tin can when you open up today, there's some kind of plastic coating in there.
Mhm.
It's not
Yeah.
just all
Yeah,
metal.
but that's because the tin cans today are aluminum, and they say that the aluminum can affect your brain and induce Alzheimer's.
Is
That's
Right.
where
that what's
comes from.
happening to me?
That's what's happening to me. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and the deodorant using the antiperspirants have the aluminum in it.
Yeah.
You know, Dave Fitzgerald sent Gordon a tank. Gordon needed a 7.5 ounce tank or something like that on his plane. And what Fitzgerald was doing, he found some bottle of women's cologne or something that was exactly 7.5 ounces of fuel, and you took the cap off of it, and the rubber insert from a plastic fuel tank would fit right in there, and it was perfect. And so Gordon was going to use it, and he went, so anyway, he came back. His wife had cut it up to use it for something else.
Oh,
We haven't been able to find another one.
oh no.
I remember
We
going
used to
shopping.
use.
remember
Go
going
ahead.
shopping with Werewolf at a drugstore looking for bottles, for specific size bottles for his P-47 Thunderbolt, because he used a plastic tank in that, and he used some kind of an oval plastic bottle. It was some kind of a hairdressing or something. I forgot what it was, but we went shopping for those things quite often.
Yeah,
We used to use Ron's old lighter fluid cans. And
Yeah.
we just pop the top out, cut the neck off as close as we could, and put a piece of brass tubing on there, solder it on, and then put a plump tank in it. It worked.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
You remember
We used to
Several
have
of them still
a
running around here I made 20 years ago.
remember
we used to
using
have a guy around. I think he was from Cleveland area. His name was Mike Mustang. This guy traveled around. Mike, you remember him, Bob?
Yeah, I sure do. Yeah, Mike.
There's a Mike Mustang tank. He had a metal brake and all the soldering equipment in the back of his pickup truck. And he would literally make you a tank at the field, at the contest, between rounds. Oh my God, I got tank trouble or something. He would make you a tank on the field. They're beautifully made, and they're always true and everything like that. And that's one.
Is he gone?
I believe so. I don't know. I don't know. He just stopped. He wasn't there, and he wasn't coming around anymore. So I don't know whatever happened.
Mustang. It was Mustain. Mustang.
Yeah, Mustang. Tain, like T-A-I-N.
Yeah, T-A-I-N.
Dave Mustaine, like from Megadeth.
M-U-S-T-A-I-N. Mustang.
Yeah, you guys are too old. You don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, wait a minute. Maybe when he stopped playing airplanes, he started playing Megadeth. What the hell? Maybe that was it.
Well, you're right about one thing. We're too old.
Yeah.
And speaking of, I'm gonna have to go get some beauty sleep. Boy, do I need beauty sleep.
Hey, Warren. Hey, I wanted to
Bob,
ask
you take care of yourself.
Your videos normally go for how much they go for? Like a video show how to mold the leading edge and all that. How much do you charge for your videos?
Generally, the videos are $19.95 list, but I have them on sale now for I think it's $13. And I got the whole library on sale too. It's all up on my thing on Stunt Hangar.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
The reason why I said that is because we have had 26 viewers, we have 20 likes, and we have no chat revenue. and no new members. And I do appreciate all the likes. I mean, we have 20 likes out of 26 viewers. That's pretty good. But, you saw a fantastic demonstration on how to mold a leading edge to a foam wing, and you saw how to tie a knots on a bell crank. And I mean, this is great information. And you've had some fantastic guests come in here. We had Joe Gilbert and Bob Hunt and Dennis and Paul, and not Paul, but I mean Phil and Tom and Gary. Wake up, Gary! And we got John Miller and Carl and Tryan and Al and Mike Lonkey and Peter and Howard Rush. This is some great people. So please support the show. It you don't have to withdraw your bank account. Just kick us a little love. That'd be awesome. So please consider doing that.
Where's Gerald these days?
I have a question for the.
I don't know.
Big Sharks.
He was in here a couple weeks ago. I mean, he was on the chat box a couple weeks ago. Not in the show, but he was in the chat box.
Oh,
good night, Bob. Thanks for coming in.
Bob. Night now.
Bob, can I ask you a question before you leave?
Very nice. Very professional.
No.
What were you going to say, Craig?
I'm signing off also. Have a good night.
Well, my question was for the.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
If you guys have like a.
Yeah, we're going to be going into the after party in about 20 minutes. We're just a little bit short of 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pacific Standard Time.
When you fly, do you usually have like a certain?
Trying to unmute your mic.
I can hear him.
It's unmuted.
I can hear him.
Really?
Can hear him.
I can't hear him.
So when you fly, do you have a certain footwork that you
I
go?
Can't hear nothing he's saying. What happened?
Maybe his maybe your mic is muted.
Your speakers.
I don't know.
Or the speaker is muted.
I don't even see his speaker. What did I do?
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you guys. And I heard you, Tom, Donald Duck. That was pretty good.
Can you hear me?
Oh, was that you, Phil?
Can you hear me?
My son does a pretty good Donald Duck as well.
That's weird. He can't hear me.
I don't know what happened to your speaker. I don't even see the symbol for your speaker, Tryan. When you
I can hear Tryan.
Yes, so can I. I think we all
can.
Yeah.
That's weird. Everybody hears him but the moderator. That is weird.
Good.
That's
so I can say
weird.
all kinds of stuff now, right?
Yep, you can talk
You can say anything you want. He can't stop you. So.
Yeah, you can talk about me.
Let me log out and come back in, okay? Just in
No,
case.
you're fine. It's on his end, Tryan.
No, okay, fine. Yeah. So I was wondering, like, when you guys go fly and you do the pattern, do you have a certain footwork that you follow it religiously? Your dance per se.
Who was that in the classic days that it was more fun watching him fly than watching the fly? Who was that? He was very well known. Jimmy Cassell.
Yeah, Jimmy Cassell.
He had the footwork. I mean, it was a dance out there when he was flying.
Mm-hmm.
And but I don't know of a whole lot that go to that extreme anymore. But like Dave Fitzgerald, he's got his footwork down. Watch him.
I noticed him. That's what I was thinking about, because every time I watch Fitzgerald when he goes in a wing over, I mean, it's just like every time it's the same. So maybe he has a routine to make sure he's balanced, he's poised, his body position is correct before he even enters the maneuver.
I think everybody does that to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Dave's father was a stunt pilot early on, and he was a judge, and he was a very good coach.
Mm-hmm.
And so Dave had one of the best coaches going, until his father died. And it was quite evident because he started winning, as a junior.
Mm-hmm.
and he just, he developed. I mean, his father probably helped him on that, but yeah, when he makes a turn, that one leg comes around, it kind of lifts and kicks it around, on the wing over, and watching him fly his overhead eights, I'd fall on my rear end trying to do that. But he's practiced it and he's got it down. And I've noticed a couple other people he's watching. It's kind of interesting watching them. And to a small degree, I myself have got certain things that I do. Like Bob Alan Brickhouse taught me how to take off and get a good smooth takeoff. And it looked ridiculous doing it, but you get crouched way down and you get your hand just about a foot above the tarmac there when you release, and you don't move. You're facing where you're gonna lift off. So you're 90 degrees off here when you take off, and you let it come around, and you get right about just before your takeoff spot, and you stand up. And that little bit of stand up is just enough to lift your plane off nice and smooth, and you're not jumping it off. You wind up with just a real smooth, another lap, you come around and you're pattern height.
Yeah.
You do that, you get good scores on your takeoff. That was taught to me though by Alan Brickhouse. He did the same thing on the landing.
So there is such a thing as a foot routine.
You guys, I got a treat for you. I'm going to show you a really pretty plane. I found these pictures.
Was that's what's his name? He just died here recently.
Yeah, Kirk Mullinex.
Kirk Mullinex is Corsair.
Yeah. Let me see if
I don't see it. I'd like to. That was a beautiful plane. I remember seeing it at the Nationals.
Let's see here.
I kept wondering how in the heck does his lines not cut into the wing. He had something in there. I don't know how he did it, but it was a beautiful plane. It flew well.
Flew very well.
Piping that thing,
wasn't it? Shots of it. Let me see if I can get these shots.
I don't know if it's piped or not. I wouldn't be surprised though. I was amazed at how he had the gear gear and like waddle
flaps.
sockets. Huh?
He had those lucky boxes on his flaps. They were like waddle
Did you have
sockets.
that, or did you have? Yeah, he had something there, but the flaps all worked and worked very smoothly.
I don't know how he did it. I wanted to look at it, but the only time I ever got close enough to it to really look at it, it was just before the appearance judging, and I didn't.
I heard he had
long enough.
I heard he had
know anything.
universal joints in there.
That wouldn't surprise me a bit. He was a very technical fellow.
Can you guys see this?
He liked high tech. I can't. I just see your plane flying.
You have to share your screen to make it full.
Let's give it a second. Maybe it'll show up.
I mean, you are sharing your screen, but can you hear me now?
Charles, can you hear Tran now?
No, I just hear you.
So he can hear you, Phil. But
I got like 5 pictures of this plane.
What I'm looking at your desktop. Not at any of the pictures.
Look at we see your file manager. That's what we're seeing.
Yeah, that's what we see.
Okay, let me see here. Let me stop sharing and try it again. You know what? You guys continue to talk to me. Try another way. Maybe I need to create a photo album or something.
Going back to what Trey was trying to say, I just like I wouldn't compare it to golf, but considering if you're flying, let's say a wing over, you want to position yourself and your feet in a certain stance, so when you know it's going to go overhead, where you're going to recover, so you can make the transition from whatever maneuver you're doing as smooth as possible, and of course, planting your feet a certain way in your shoulders and how you're presenting to the plane. Obviously, there is a way to do it. I don't know if it's the same for everybody. Everybody probably has a slightly different way of doing it, but there certainly is. Like you're saying there, Trey, there is more than I'm almost certain that there is a certain footwork that will work better for different individuals. And that might be is to the individual, and it may not be the same for everyone.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You know what? I'll try to get this together next time so more people can see it. For some reason.
Charles, I could see it. I could see it then, the whole page, but they were only a 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch
Yeah, I
pictures.
know. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'll work on it. But I had like 5 pictures of different angles of that.
What I could see was really sharp.
Yeah,
we
it's a
saw the
beautiful.
first one, Charles. The first one was full 5.
Yeah, I just couldn't get the other ones. I have different. That was front on. That has some side
There you are,
shots,
Tran.
direction.
Try talking to him, Trent.
Charles, hi.
Hey, Tran. Okay, now say it again. What I missed. I can't read lips very well.
No, I was just, I started a discussion about a certain footwork that you might have when you're flying, and we were talking about Fitzgerald and these other guys that are flying very well, but they have a certain footwork they are following religiously. So whenever they fly, they do the same thing over and over again to make sure that they're positioning fine, stuff like that.
Right.
So for me, the only problem I have is on the wing over only.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
But you're left-handed, so that makes
Double
makes
tough.
it tough.
Yeah, because I have to fly like this, coming from the side and actually behind me more.
Yeah.
When I set up, because
we
I have
can-
to come here, get ready, and the plane is over there somewhere, 45 degrees behind me, as it comes in, and I.
Yeah.
And
we can get ready with it over here, and you're having to do it like this. That would I never thought about that. I always thought left-handed.
Yeah, try to
people
fly your
had an
plane with your right
advantage,
hand behind you.
try
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Go
That
ahead.
would be interesting. Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's see.
Trying to say, Mike.
I was just gonna say, I'm a lefty. I turn my body 3 steps in front of the airplane and stop and let the airplane come to me.
Okay.
That's what I do in all the maneuvers, right? But on a wing over, that's the question.
Yeah, that would be interesting for you, Tran, because it's literally behind you when you set.
Yeah.
And by time I got 2 seconds about to get my feet right and get ready for a wing over. It's coming from here to here, and you're going to start with behind you.
No,
Exactly.
no. Turn your body 180 to the judges, not 180, but turn your body
You'd be
and
not.
look over your shoulder.
Mhm.
So, all right, if the judges are where this airplane is,
Okay.
we're going to pull up for the reverse wing over. I've already got my body here, looking 90 degrees away from the judges. And I get the airplane to where the judges are, but my feet and shoulders are 90 degrees facing away from the
Yeah,
judges.
but you're basically flying behind you, right?
Yeah, but up to that point, it doesn't matter because you're in
But that's what
level
we're saying, Mike. At that point, he's flying behind him. I don't know how
Yeah.
you guys do it.
You are, yeah. You're flying behind you, but as long you're in level flight, and nothing counts until you enter the wing over. So as long as you keep it at your 4 to 6 feet, you hit the judges, boom, up over the top, come back out, and come back to the judges, and then straight back over the top. Yeah, you are behind you a little, but
Wow.
it's
Ooh, that would be hard.
Yeah, I've tried all kind of things. I try to fly here, like if the judges are on my left side. I tried this one time. I just stop here, wait for the plane to come here, do the wing over the first part, right? But right here on this moment, I have to switch my body backwards as I turn around and then rotate my body 180 degrees to reacquire the plane for the second come around, and that was a mess.
Yes,
That's too much
you're behind the airplane and you're doing stuff in the backwards order.
Yeah.
It's just one of the things as a left-handed flyer that you have to figure out. And for me, I tried just facing the judges and pulling up in the wing, like squared off facing them, pulling up. But then when you come over, you have to turn your body
Every time you do that, the plane is going to do this, change directions, and go over there.
What I have found as a left-handed flyer is to get my body 90 degrees to the judges.
Before the plane gets.
Yes, before. That's really the best way for a lefty to do it.
So long story short, we have to develop something that works for us.
That
You
works
could-
for me. I mean, and I
could start flying clockwise.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing that, Mike. I'm already doing that. Okay, so I'm already doing exactly what you're saying. But for me, it's like I'm inconsistent. Sometimes I'm doing one way of my body movement, another time I'm doing a different way, and I'm doing a different way. I mean, heck, yesterday I went out flying, and I lost count how many flights I put. I put just over 10 flights, or 10 or 11 flights minimum.
Rub it in, man.
Just doing wing overs. That's all I did. I did a wing over, came back in level flight, do one lap with one loop in it. Next lap, I'll do another wing over. Do one loop just to unwind my lines, and just do another wing over. I did that wing over after wing over after wing over, and they were pretty nice, But I found myself being very, very inconsistent. It's like in my body position, because sometimes I would pull out and come like that, and just threw me off the balance. I was off balance. Other times I was just not. Body wasn't ready. I couldn't see my entry mark. And hit the same spot, just all kind of mess in there, and I, it kind of boiled down to maybe having a certain kind of a footwork that you have to have and be religious about it. So every time you do a wing over, you do the same thing. Your body's in the same position. You're comfortable, and everything just flows.
You speak about pre-visualizing your flight. Maybe the best way to try to figure out what body stance would be the best for you is not doing it while you're flying the airplane. Just, you stand up and you're making believe that the plane's there and where you normally hold your hand. You say, okay, it's here. Then I got to go up over here. And then, okay, no, that's not going to work. And try different body positions, not while flying an airplane. See something, you'll find one combination or one position that'll ultimately click for you. At least I believe that would probably be a help.
Yeah.
One of the first things Tom Dixon ever told me that really clicked and made sense is you need to do 1/3 of your practicing with an airplane. And I said, say what? And he said, you need to get at home and get in a door facing and figure out. He said, in your case, it's going to have to be a big door because I'm tall. He was knocking me being so tall. But anyway, and just practice and figure out where you're going to be, where your body's going to be. Well, I thought he was nuts. And I came home, hey, look who Canada has joined us.
Your family might think you're insane, but
family. I got people walking around the neighborhood that's
I know.
But anyway,
that's it.
But anyway, because I got a picture window right in front of me, but that's the only big double door in the house. But anyway, you get in there and just practice that and figure it out. And that's the way I got my overhead 8s down. And it worked for the overhead 8s, and it worked for me for the wing over. But you just have to work with it. But figure it out without the airplane, because you can't crash in your living room, but you can crash out there on the field.
Well, that's it. But you do have a handle handy, right? So so you can practice while you're watching YouTube videos and whatever. So
I think having a handle is a good idea, Dennis.
And it's a lot less embarrassing falling over if you're tripping and falling over in your living room than it is out in the field.
That's true.
So Mike wants to say something. Go ahead, Mike.
How many left-handed flyers are here? Besides Tryon and me. Anybody else fly left-handed?
No.
Okay, so you can visualize it, say all you want. It doesn't translate unless you're a lefty and you've flown the pattern left-handed.
No, but you can do it. He can do it in his living room left-handed. I mean, that's either that or learn to fly clockwise.
Trust me, I already did that, but I forgot it all completely when I went flying, and I said, "Man, this just feels awkward or something like that." So I have to try something new.
Try
if
it.
you want to see somebody, I don't
Hold
know
on,
where you'd
let me
find a
finish.
video of him, but if you can find a video of Bart Kopinski flying, he's a lefty, and he is the smoothest I've ever seen. He is smooth.
Okay.
He makes it look like an art, and he
If
does
you
it
find
left-handed.
one, let me know.
I'll do it.
I
I'll
learn
do it.
from
I probably
everybody
got
and
some that I
everything.
took of him at Tucson.
Can
The-
I
the
say
other-
another thing to try in, please?
The other key too is once you find something that works out for you, it's got to be consistent, so it just comes automatic to you where you don't have to think about it.
That's what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
I have to,
Yeah.
to really work at being very,
Right.
very conscious of what I'm doing, especially on that
Right.
one. What I
Right.
usually do on all maneuvers, I do exactly what Mike said. I'm not flying in front of me. I'm flying to my side, always to my right side, right? So I just come in. I'm stopping. I'm waiting for the plane to come in my view, and I'm doing my maneuver and stuff like that. And when I'm done, I'm stepping up again, and again I put my plane to my side and fly like that until I go to the next maneuver where I stop. I wait for the plane to come in front of me. Blah blah, right? So that's fine, including the overheads. So overheads for me are super easy because I like to lean back like this. I'm looking at one spot in the sky. I'm not taking my eyes off of that.
Right.
I watch it like a hawk. That's one spot I'm watching in the sky, and then I'm using my peripheral vision to just fly the plane through that, and it just
Young guy, he's still got
boom.
good peripheral.
Yeah, hang on, Phil. Waiting for Mike. Mike wants to say something after Tryon finishes.
Go ahead.
Tryon.
Go ahead, Mike.
Well, what I was going to say, as one lefty to another, what I have developed in my flying is a 3-step cadence coming into a maneuver. Getting my body in front of the airplane, and I do it 3 steps. 1, 2, 3 with my feet, and then planting my feet and waiting for the airplane to get to the point I'm going to do the maneuver. 3-step cadence. If you can visualize it or try it, even when the maneuvers are outside in front of
yeah,
getting to where the judges are,
yeah,
I mentally count and move my feet 1, 2, 3 steps ahead of the airplane. I stop, and then I bring the airplane right in front of me to do the maneuver.
yeah.
Same
So
thing.
what I've developed for myself so far is that, let's say the wing over starts here, and I'm facing in that direction, right? For my feet, I'm just going. I'm putting my foot here. The next foot comes like this, and I'm bringing it over, kind of like that, something like that,
Makes
But
sense.
it's so similar to what you're saying, like 1, 2, 3.
Exactly.
Get ready. Boom. The plane comes. Boom. Done.
I have, and I tried doing the overheads and the reverse wing over in different body positions. And if you're having to move your feet around,
Forget it.
You can't do it
Move
as a
your feet,
lefty.
do it.
You can't do it as a lefty. Your body already needs to be there, and you fly your arm in your hand. That's just what you got.
You can't do that as right.
I mean, that's what works for me anyway. But I dare any of you guys to try to fly left-handed and figure this. Are we done live streaming?
No, yeah.
I'm gonna not. We're still live.
I got a question.
You guys to try to fly left-handed and try to stop.
I got a question, because we got a guy here that had one of the best coaches in the world when he was growing up. Danny, what did your dad tell you about this?
Well, first off, he was big on body position, as you know. He was murder on people like Jimmy Cassell, who kept, jumping all around and everything like that, because he insisted that people who move around like that, they lose all their reference points and their maneuvers start wandering all over. Tops, bottoms, intersections all go to hell. You got to stand still. He's always a big fan of making sure you do the maneuver in front of you. And I think that would apply to lefty or righty. The issue with the wing over, it's special. Like, Tryon's discussing what he's going through, and the issues are different. But let me tell you, I have exactly the same issues, and I'm right-handed. I have the exact same issue trying to make a smooth transition and align myself with the inverted pullout. If I fly it this way, it's for crap. If I need to turn my body without doing the wiggle over the top, if I'm facing the airplane when I do the corner, I can do a great pullout. If I'm not facing the airplane, it's a crapshoot. With the emphasis on crap, all right? All the other maneuvers I can face. Overhead aid is getting as I get, shall we say, older. The overhead aid is getting harder to do, but I'm finding different ways to get through it that I would have never done when I was younger, which would drive my father crazy. But
Can I
but he
bring
would.
one?
Yeah, jump in.
So your pull up on the reverse wing over is easy because you're right-handed and you're doing it in front of the judges. As a lefty, our pull out on the reverse wing over is easy because the airplane's on the left side of our body and we're diving it straight at the ground, and we can come out inverted with the airplane on this arm where you're having to reach across to do that.
Exactly.
So
I'm having to reach across and twist around.
Image.
All
Yeah,
right.
we are the mirror image. Our initial entrance, is tough. It's easy over here. To the right, it's easy to enter and hard to exit.
Right.
Exactly. But as far as the judge goes, the entrance, the start is not that important. I mean, it's more impressive when you pull out on the reverse wing over. So you have an advantage on that pull out to really make an impression.
I absolutely believe that, because swinging that airplane over the top and diving it down and having it on the left side of your body and being able to pull out inverted with this arm extended, as opposed to this way, that is an advantage for a lefty.
And that's the first maneuver, so you really impress the judges. Because if you nail that, even if you don't nail the loops, they're not going to go down that far. But if you blow that, even if you do excellent loops, it's going to be hard for your score to come back up.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead, John.
I was just trying to think of how I do it, and Big Art was kind of my mentor. I went to one of his stunt clinics, and I'm like typical right-hander. I'll get to where I'm flying it to the spot I want. I pull straight up, and I'll turn my hand to follow the direction going up. Now, when I get it up here, I realize I do something a little different than what you guys do. I turn my hand so it's upright, but I bring my hand in front of my body like this and out a little ways. And that doesn't give me this cramp thing trying to get it in here. Bring it out a little ways, and I can turn my head to it and watch it, and it works for me.
Yeah, I got it.
Getting that out in front of you a little bit, and now for a left-hander, I don't know whether you can get it out in front of you a little bit, and whether that would help. I don't know.
Yeah,
because I'm not a lefty. I don't play that way.
So what I've got so far pretty well, the entrance and exits, they're pretty nice. I mean, it's like when I track and I was flying, right now I was flying in line to a white line that was on a ground, on the grass, right?
Wow.
And it was just over there. It just happened the wind to be kind of in the general direction. So the line would be here. I just climbed right on top of it. And as I was diving on the other side, I saw the plane coming right back to the line. Boom.
Oh, excellent.
Nice.
Yeah. Nail it nicely, right? Or if I was, I could just bias it a little bit. And I noticed, like, if I was a little bit late on an entrance, also I was a little bit past the line on this side. And then I was trying to enter a little bit early on the next one. So I was moving my maneuver ever so slightly. So I thought it was pretty big.
Yeah, Mike, you remember Jim Morway?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Jim Morway was a combat flyer from the Detroit area. He had a lot of health concerns. He had a real bad arthritis in his neck and everything. He actually reached a point he was starting to fly stunt and stuff like that. and he was at the point where he literally could not look up at an overhead 8, and he was having a terrible time trying to figure out how to position himself and stuff to fly it. And my dad told him, in his case, he says, Jim, you're a combat flyer. Do you always watch your airplane flying combat? He goes, no.
Yep.
Says, in your case, it may be better for you to do the overhead 8 strictly by feel.
By feel, yeah.
Yeah.
And he physically couldn't turn his head enough to really matter. He couldn't get, but he was better off just flying it by feel and then turning around and coming back out. And that was, I suspect, frankly, that might be something that works for some of us as we get into the vertigo years and stuff like that. It might be something that'll work for us later on too. It's like,
maybe,
I've never seen anybody win a contest because of an overhead 8,
Right.
So you just get it so it doesn't hurt you too badly, and you'll be all right. So
most judges just want to see the 45s on the sides, and they want
exactly. They can see the middle and they can see the side.
They want it way out front anyway. It looks better when it's way out front as opposed to the way it's flown in the rule book anyway. But it's funny you mentioned the Jim Morway. The Detroit contest is still called the Jim Morway Memorial Contest. I got 2 plaques on the wall for fast combat and speed limit combat from 2016, 2013, and 2017. They still call it the Jim Morway Memorial Contest.
Yeah, that's neat. I think Charles is gonna call the thing here. Okay.
No, I just got to catch up on the chat box. Someone asked about Gerald. Well, Gerald responded. He said, "Hello, I'm here."
Oh, good.
Right, yeah.
Hi, Gerald.
To work outside again, but we'll listen on my phone. Great show tonight. Thanks. And then we had Timothy DeBoard said, "I'm looking for no heat for my girlfriend." I think that's regarding Bob Hunt's comment about the wrinkles and all that stuff. Yeah, I think so. And then Greg Nilsson says, couldn't find the after hours link on Stunthangar. Greg Nilsson, it's at the bench. You'll see a thing called live stream, and then you'll see at the bench. Click the at the bench, and then I'll have a link which has today's date in it. And that's how you get into the after party. So with that being said, and hi Lynn, thanks for coming in. And I saw you earlier, and I'm glad you got in.
Lynn's froze up, I think.
No, he's moving.
Is he? It looked like it.
He moved.
It's alive.
Ah, there he is.
He's alive.
He's alive. Alive.
We're up to 21 likes. Very good. We've had 26 views and 21 likes. So if you happen to be watching this as a replay, please help us grow this channel. Hit the thumbs up. If you don't like liking things, you can make your like private so no one sees what you like. But please give us a thumbs up and even comment in the YouTube. That helps. I don't look at all the comments. This is actually Sparky's channel that he's giving me keys to the kingdom to, so I can go in his channel and I live stream in his channel. But I, from time to time, do look and see if there's any comments, but I can't give you that guarantee I'll see it. So we've had a pretty good turnout, and I really love the demos we had tonight with Bob Hunt and Tryon. And so please consider donating, giving us a super chat or joining. Hit the join button. That also helps the matrix. So please do all that. And then again, we do this every Monday and Friday. I start the monologue. Thank you, Phil, for the like. I start the monologue at about 6:45. I probably don't click the post button until about 5 till 7. But anyways, we do this every Monday and Friday evening. So please come back, go out there and have some fun and tell us what you did. and we're going to transition to the after party, where we pretty much have a lot of fun. Sometimes it's better than the live stream portion of the show. So with that, I'm going to bid you all farewell, except the guys here in the chat, and we will see you.
It's worse.
We'll see you. We'll see you Friday. This is Monday, so we'll see you Friday.